Hello and welcome to this week's debate of Goa Ahead. And as you have seen, this big bang announcement from the Aam Admi Party has practically shattered political landscape in Goa. How are people going to take it? What will be the electoral impact of such kind of announcements? And they have made it very clear that over a course of next 2-3 months, there will be more announcements like this. So how people of Goa perceive it, and can that be electorally viable? I have four eminent panelists joining me on this panel. First in the studio, I am joined by economist and political analyst Professor Manoj Kamath. Manoj, welcome.
Hello.
Online, I am joined by senior lawyer and political analyst Radharao Gracias. Radharao, welcome.
Yes.
I am joined by economist and political analyst Prabhakar Bab Timle. Timle Bab, welcome. And senior leader of the Aam Admi Party, India spokesperson Valmiki Naik. Manoj, I'll start with you.
Yes.
When you see this kind of a attempt by a political party 6 months before the election to capture the anti-BJP vacuum in Goa, how do you think this is going to pan out over a period of next 6 months?
I think AAP has made the right moves at the right time. If you look, Pramod Bab, the direction at which it is going, it has been able to completely change its strategy. I'll tell you how. And the other thing is, just before 6 months, when no other party was still in election mode, it seems that AAP is coming up with its, some important aspects and some important points of the manifesto, and well capturing the media's attention, well capturing the attention of its electorate. One thing, AAP was always perceived to be a Catholic-dominated, Catholic voter targeting party in Goa for a longer time. Now, one thing they have done is, now they have started aligning towards the majoritism, the majority electorate by changing its convener's face, and if you look at all the politics here. Yesterday, two important things have happened with Kejriwal's visit in Goa. He was one of the top leader of AAP, and then when no other political party in Goa was still responding to the elections, they have made some important announcements which they have pitched already high. Now, if you look at that Veez Andolan, or that electricity or that power issue which they were bringing to the forelight for many months now, they have tried to get some kind of an sympathy by coming up with some big bang announcements. And this announcement is not a joke. See, remember, politics in India has always been now for last 10 to 15 years, what is say dole or subsidy based kind of politics. So when we are talking about 30 to 40 crore rupees announcement, and which they have done and successfully modeled it in Delhi as well, by reducing the transmission and distribution losses and passing on these benefits to the people, by making and good provision in the budget for power, what is say, for power subsidy, and by charging a little higher rate for those from higher power guzzlers. Now, if they want to replicate the same model here, then this is something which attracts people, or this has at least attracted good attention. This second important agenda which they came up with is, they have shattered and they have shaken the entire political discussion in Goa by talking about an alliance with a new partner which nobody thought before. Now, if AAP is talking about having an alliance, or if those kind of talks are really happening in reality with the MGP, you know that the entire strategy changes from Catholic-dominated areas to targeting the Hindu majority voters, where MGP is still sellable, and then it can pose a serious, what is a threat to Congress and the BJP.
Very pertinent points, Manoj. I'll go to Radharao Bab straight. Radharao Bab, how do you look at this, and how do you think this will pan out over a period of next 6 months?
Now, obviously, the AAP is ahead of everybody else. They are in the game, apparently, to do something worthwhile this time. And they have come down here sufficiently in advance. This is something I was expecting the Congress to do.
Correct.
Because the Congress has only 3 sitting MLAs who probably will contest next time. So they have 37 vacancies as far as I can see. And by now they should have been on the ground fighting it out. So to that extent, the AAP has got upper hand in that they have come out and they are seen to be working.
Timle Bab, how are you looking at this?
Now, AAP is very smart that way, you know, because they are avoiding the Goa agenda and they are putting their own agenda for discussion. So you have a Goa agenda. Agenda before Goa is skill development, environment, employment, double tracking, CZMP, coal hub. So it's all avoided. There's no word on that. And then it's putting for its own agenda. I mean, that's a good way of doing politics, my agenda. And now you try to discuss my agenda. Now he's some kind of a meeting with the MGP. I mean, I would not consider it to be a bad move, but looks contradiction because Aap speaks of Goa needs clean politics. Goa needs alternate politics. And how there can be clean politics and alternate politics looks a contradiction because
so you are saying the
everybody knows the current.
You are saying
I'm not saying Aap is saying Goa wants clean politics. So it's a contradiction.
So you are saying this is a contradiction between clean politics and a viable politics. Valmiki, on that point I will go to you. The clean part of it versus the viability part of it, and all this kind of announcement, do you think they will give you electoral dividends? Politically, definitely you have shaken the landscape. Everybody today is talking about what AAP will do next. But can you convert this euphoria into votes?
Right. Let me just back up a little bit and finish up what we started talking about on today's debate. One is that Aam Aadmi Party today, with its government in Delhi, is known for Kaam Ki Rajniti. It is very well known that whatever we have promised, we have delivered, and we have delivered more than what we have promised. Secondly, in Goa, the reason for announcing these initiatives on the power sector, as Manoj Babu rightly pointed out, we actually did a very extensive campaign called the Veez Andolan all over Goa. It's called the Goa's Bijli Andolan. And we had almost 300 meetings from November 2020 till February 2021, where we had small public meetings, almost 300 in every nook and corner of Goa. I myself have attended and addressed about 33 to 34 meetings. So every single meeting, we got the feedback that this is a real issue. Everybody knew it was a real issue. There were protests at the electricity departments. Opposition parties have also raised this issue. But the extent to which this is an issue was really discovered and revealed by Aam Aadmi Party's Veez Andolan campaign. And that is why this is our first offering to the people of Goa. This is Kejriwal's first guarantee to the people of Goa if an Aam Aadmi Party comes to power, is that first of all, we will provide 300 units of electricity free to every single Goan household. Second promise is that we will have 24/7 electricity with zero power cuts. Thirdly, we will waive all the old inflated bills that people are being forced to pay or face disconnection today. And lastly, we want to take care of our Annadatas, and that is why we have announced our fourth promise, which is free electricity for farmers.
Manoj, 2 points. One is the contradiction that Timlebab raised, clean politics versus feasible politics, because the arithmetic of votes eventually needs to add up. And second, whether this kind of initiatives will convert into votes, because we know that there is a vacuum in the non-BJP political space, but can AAP convert that vacuum into votes?
I'll answer your second question first. When we talk about this vote bank politics or dole politics or subsidy politics, whatever you say, now these are some of the issues which touch the common man. Finally, if you ask a common man on the roadside, what do you prefer, a bridge in your village or a government job in your family, he would of course go for the second one. If you ask him, I'll reduce your electricity rates or give you a good school, they'll say, reduce my electricity bills. This is what is the normal expectation of an average voter, meaning average voter doesn't think logically, he doesn't bother about your financial viabilities, etc. He's bothered about what he gets. And that is the changing psychology, that is the changing election mood. Now coming to the first question. Whether viable politics, is AAP consolidating on viable politics or on alternative politics? See, AAP has always been talking about alternative politics. Now, whether MGP would really align with them or not, now it would take some 2 or 3 months for that to materialize. But they have done two smarter things. First, they have broken away MGP's discussion with the BJP. Now, they have widened the gap and they have done it very tactfully. That's what it seems to be. If you look at the kind of reactions what BJP is giving in last 2 days, and then everywhere they are criticizing the MGP, so the gap is further widening. Now, Dhawlikar has exposed himself by going one step further, saying that I'm ready to even discuss seat sharing, or that is one of the probability. By saying this, what has happened is BJP workers, the rank and the file, has already criticizing the MGP move, and now for BJP to go back to MGP would become a little difficult.
Okay, Radhabab, how do you look at it? Both questions. One, whether this can get converted into votes, and secondly, the Goa agenda looks very nice in social media, it looks very nice on TV, but when it comes to touching the individual voter, this Bijli, Sadak, Pani, and when you take it to individual household and say that we are going to give you this subsidy or freebie or dole, that eventually works when it comes to ballot.
See, what happens is the AAP was formed on a promise of bringing in total change in the country, in the system of administration, and various other aspects of governance. And above all, they were supposed to be a party which would break off from traditional politics. But we see no change. You see that Pratima Kutin from Naveli, she contested against AAP in the Zilla Panchayat, heavily criticized that party, and within a matter of 3 or 4 days, she resigns from the Congress, joins the AAP, and she is now as a senior leader of that party. Now, what message does it convey? It conveys the message that AAP is no different from anybody else. Now, this Sadak, Bijli, whatever you call it, the practical problem is we thought that AAP would come here as a party offering something for the state of Goa. Now, to give individuals some benefits, to make some offerings of as if we are beggars, it is not something I would expect a political party that wants to bring in change to offer. You see, it is like a little child, you give her a chocolate and the child comes to you. That Goans are being reduced to that level, that we are being offered free electricity.
No, rather the question is,
of our votes.
The question is, will go and share your feeling, or will they say that Radhabab spoke well and eventually they will go and vote for a party that gives them freebies?
No, that usually happens. Everywhere I go, they say Radhara spoke well, but they don't give me votes. That is a different story. Okay. But I would think that as far as Goans are concerned, we aren't that much of fools. I would just feel that if BJP is smart enough, see, with election 7 months ahead, at least they could immediately say we are giving it and start giving us free electricity. That would practically
I think it is one of these rare occasions where you are giving a very, very politically smart suggestion to the BJP and not to the anti-BJP guys. Timlebab, how do you look at this? This is a very interesting point. You spoke about Goa agenda, but whether Goa agenda gives you votes or these freebies give you votes.
I don't think that Goa is shaken with the announcement. Goa will shake when there will be a competition between political parties for giving freebies to the people. Then actually Goa will shake. Now let us try to understand what is this free electricity. Free electricity to every household. It is not free electricity to every household. It is only to those whose consumption is up to 300 units. And if you look at the statistics in Goa, this will definitely benefit around 25 to 30% of the households. It is not free. It is, let's say, if your unit consumption per month is within the range of 300. Yeah. If it is more than 300, then full billing will be there. Yeah. So this will benefit mostly those households, those families which are having
can announcement like these benefit you electorally, or the Goa agenda that you mentioned benefits you electorally?
Yeah, correct. So that is why I am trying to tell you that how many households it will cover. It will cover 25 to 30% of the households, mostly migrant labor, those who are working in tourism, hotels, hospitality, security, industrial estates, because they are living in one-room kitchen apartments. It will definitely benefit them. So then you try to understand the impact. So any freebie enables a political party to consolidate its position, and there's no doubt about it.
Okay.
And once there is a competition of freebies, as Radha has mentioned, if there is a competition, then there will be a total financial crisis. We already know that Goa is in a financial crisis.
Okay.
So whether people will fall for a political party only because of a freebie, that's to be seen.
Okay. Valmiki, respond to both Radhabab and Timlebab. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll respond to Timle Bab first because I think the statistics that he has given are not entirely accurate. Like I said, we have done a proper study with the data from the government of Goa itself. See, there are 5,49,048 connections, domestic connections in Goa today. And we have calculated how many use 0 to 100 units, 100 to 200 units, 200 to 300 units.
Okay.
And based on that analysis, I am assuring you that 87% of Goans will benefit. This is not just targeted to some vote bank. When you talk of 87% will benefit, almost entire Goa will benefit from this. So I think it's wrong data that Timlebab gave. This is the actual correct data. And we have calculated even how much the cost will be. It is actually much less than what the government is right now wasting on things. Our, our subsidy will cost hardly 195 crores per year for giving 87% of Goans the benefit of free electricity. If we go to see, this government of Goa is giving 277 crores to casinos. So what Aam Aadmi Party will be doing is actually benefiting 87% of Goa, then some of BJP's and Congress's lobby friends. So this is entirely inaccurate. What we have done is based on proper data and proper study. It has, like I said, we have fulfilled it in Delhi. It is a different model. I don't think we need to discuss there. We need to discuss what we have offered in Goa, which is 300 units flat. Everybody will get 300 units flats with no conditions attached. Secondly, I want to go back to the political discussion that happened earlier. One was on whether we are sticking to our promise of clean politics. Of course, we are sticking to our promise. The very reason we are able to offer such, guarantees on power sector and many other things that we will be offering is because of our clean politics. As far as alliances and the local politics is concerned, I think it is very premature. Just because somebody came to meet Mr. Kejriwal doesn't mean that there's going to be an alliance. As
Right.
you have seen outside of that news also, there is a lot of news of people from all political parties, people with no political background, all good people who are coming to join Aam Aadmi Party with that hope that this is the party that will provide clean politics.
I'll go to Manoj. Manoj, the question is very simple. Do you think non-BJP vote can gravitate towards any political option right now, or this aggression from Aam Aadmi Party will fragment it further?
Yes, currently if you look at the BJP vote share and what has happened in last two elections at Zilla Parishad level as well as at municipal election level, BJP vote has not consolidated. But there is on the grassroots level, there are some problems. The local leaders are not able to convey a good message about the BJP, or maybe their spokespersons are not, efficient enough to carry a good message of the BJP. And all good work, whichever little good work is happening at the BJP level, is not been reaching. And then if you have seen for last almost a year, Goa BJP is facing different controversies which are created by themselves, and now it seems very clear that the future is not so bright. So if you look at this, this is exactly a good occasion as an opportunity for all the political parties to consolidate. We were looking at some kind of consolidation happening with some announcements happening at Goa Forward and Congress level. If it fructifies, it will further fructify the non-BJP, it will consolidate the non-BJP vote share. And if you look at consolidating the Hindu majority vote, which otherwise on an hand 80% goes to the BJP and 20% goes to other parties, including the MGP. If you look at MGP getting votes, even in constituencies like that of Valpai, where MGP had no presence in the last election, they scored somewhere around 3,000 to 3,500 votes. With AAP getting around 2 to 3,000 votes in such constituencies as of now, it's a good number. So, such kind of alliances, we will see discussions happening
You see,
in next 3 to
eventually
4 months.
the non-BJP voter will gravitate towards one particular alliance or a bloc.
It seems very clear to me
Okay.
that that such thing is going to happen.
Radhava, do you feel so?
See, what happens is, I would say that irrespective of what happens, the BJP will continue to have at least 30% support among the Goan voters. That would be the minimum they will have. Now, who wins the elections depends on what happens to the other 70%. And what happens, how the BJP itself can increase that 30 to 40%. So now, vying for that 70%, earlier, the Congress was a massive party. which is diminishing itself with every election, and by their failure to act on time. So who comes to power will depend on what happens in the next few months. I would say that Congress is no longer the force that it was before. In fact, the Congress place has now been taken over by the BJP. See, until 2000, about the year 2000, it was Congress that had a presence in every constituency, and the other parties were struggling to get in. Now the roles are reversed. The Congress does not seem to have any presence in North Goa now. So an alliance between MGP and UP, if it comes about, could practically knock the Congress out of North Goa altogether under the present circumstances. But all these are, mere viewpoints. We cannot at this stage say what will happen.
So do you feel that a non-BJP vote share can consolidate towards any particular option, or this aggression by UP can fragment it further?
No, I feel that in 2022, in the coming elections, Congress has reached a bottom and they have nothing to lose now. They have lost everything. So they have every opportunity to respond to the sentiments of the people by giving new, young, youthful and energetic candidates to the people. And there is a disenchantment with the BJP. And because of this defection politics, the people want that at least one party, maybe one party with a combination of one more, gives them a stable government and avoids this kind of defection. So whether I feel this non-BJP vote, if Congress, takes decisions and does not procrastinate, people are waiting to put themselves along with the Congress. UP is also emerging as a force. It's not that it's not emerging as a force. And if UP and MGP, suppose the alliance take place, although, Valmiki says it is just in the stage of, it's nothing, it's not even the preliminary stage. Correct. But we are just, doing hypothetical this. Alliance takes place, then this combination will keep the Congress and the BJP guessing of who will win the seats in different constituencies.
Okay. So they're very, very interesting.
Just one more point. I just wanted to clarify on that my percentage of this freebie of electricity. See, I consider myself to be from the middle class. My average consumption per month is 500 units. So that's why I consider in Goa, the middle class may have more than 300 units of consumption.
Okay.
Accordingly is the ratio that I have put.
Okay. Finally, Valmiki, this is the fear that any option going so aggressively, BJP's vote share remains intact. Congress will try to do something on the face of the election, and effectively an aggressive force like UP against an aggressive force like Congress in a non-BJP space directly benefits the BJP. How do you respond to that?
I think we are assuming that BJP has some, guaranteed vote share. Whatever votes they got in the local elections, I think it is a different matter. The assembly elections, people look at completely differently. And I think BJP themselves do not make this dangerous assumption that they have 25-30% fixed. Because there is very high anti-incumbency, especially in the last 2-3 years, and especially the last 1.5 years, where thousands of people died because of this government's complete mishandling and mismanagement of COVID. We saw even corruption happening in the middle of COVID project. It was really, people are sickened with the BJP. The problem is today there is no proper alternative. The Congress party, which claims to be the alternative, today is directly in alliance with the BJP. So to people, Congress does not exist itself. It has already allied with the BJP. It is in an alliance government with the BJP. You just have to look at the cabinet of the Goa government today. 90% of them are congressmen. So what people of Goa are looking for is who is the alternative this time. And I believe that they will alternate towards one party, and that party will be Aam Admi Party because of the reasons I gave. It is the only hope for the clean politics. And I think what happened last time was that Aam Admi Party in 2017 also was a good option, but our Delhi model had not been proved yet. Congress also, they had not betrayed the people like they did after 2017 elections. Today, people do not want the BJP. They don't even look at Congress as an option. And I think they're looking at Aam Admi Party as the only option. And like I said, all the issues we are taking up are based on their requirements. We are not
I
saying
think
that we
one
will.
thing that everybody agrees on this panel is you have made an impact. Whether that impact gets translated into votes, I think
We agree.
next 2 to 3
No,
months
I'll just mention that there was
real
no
telling.
response to the point of the electricity guarantee yesterday by either BJP or Congress.
Okay.
Both of them admitted that they cannot offer it. The BJP is in government. They did not say that we can also do it. They have admitted they cannot offer it.
Okay.
And neither BJP nor Congress said that
Okay.
Kejriwal will not do it. So they have admitted that they believe themselves that Kejriwal will
Okay,
follow this
I think
promise.
high impact, whether that high impact will get converted into high votes. I think that is the question everybody is looking
so
at.
Pramod,
Yes.
the agenda before Goa now is free electricity, no other agenda.
Yeah. No,
Not at all, not at all. This is the first
they are
guarantee. This
saying
is
that
the
there will
first
be more
guarantee.
announcements. So
Wait and watch.
I think how they are giving it in installments, that needs to be seen. Timle Bab, Radha Bab, Valmiki, Manoj, thanks a lot for joining. I'm completely out of time. Keep watching. Go ahead.